So thank you for your time, Chief, and it's nice to talk to you again this year after our interview last year with you with Diversity magazine.
Right.
So I'm Frankline Agbor, and I'm going to be asking some few questions to Edmonton Police Chief about Knecht. So the first question will be, what's your score for security in Edmonton on a score of 1 to 5 for 2016?
Oh, I would say we're probably a 4 out of 5. Obviously not perfect, 5 being, I guess, the very best, where everything's really secure. I would say a 4 out of 5. I think we're doing pretty good. We had a good year here, I think, overall in the city. No major incidents, no very significant incidents. So the homicide rate is up this year. To a degree. I guess historically we average about 35 homicides a year. This year we're at 40. As of today, we're at 40 homicides. So up a little bit, but then we've seen our population grow over the last 5 years to 80,000, 90,000 people over the last 5 years. So I think that's to be expected, that everything would trend up a little bit based on just an increase in population alone.
Is it still connected to the recent joblessness from the oil drop in prices?
Yeah, I would suggest that the economy has some influence over crime. So we're seeing actually violence for the city of Edmonton has plateaued and is actually trending downwards slightly, not in leaps and bounds, but it is actually going down. That's a good thing. So we see violence going down, but we do continue to see the increases in property crime, and I think that's directly attributed to the fact that the economy's a little more difficult. There's more people out of work. People still have to pay their bills. They still have to pay their debts. Now the criminals have to pay their drug debts or have to deal with that side of the house. But I think overall, as property crime is a consequence of an ailing economy. So people are out of jobs, and their unemployment has run out. Their separation packages have run out, and now they're still having pay for gas or whatever else. We see in the city the two crimes in the property area are theft of vehicles. So we see a huge amount of vehicles, stolen vehicles, and we see theft from vehicles. And predominantly the theft from vehicles is somebody stealing a license plate off that vehicle, putting it on a stolen car, and then going and stealing gas, or going and committing a break and enter, or robbing a store or whatever else. So property crime, certainly there is a correlation between property and the economy, I would suggest.
So, Chief, what challenges do you face in keeping Edmonton safe, and how can the community help?
Well, I think, we're 1,800 police officers. Now the police service is 2,600, but 1,800 of those 2,600 are police officers, and we police a community of 1.1 million. So the only way we keep this community safe is the community working with us in keeping the community safe. So I think it's important that the community reports crimes when they see crimes. And we've seen a real uptick over the last 3 years of people coming forward and helping us. So the fact that people give us a license number, that helps us solve a crime, or they see a suspicious person or a suspicious vehicle in their neighborhood, that they let us know about that. Or most of our youth are very involved on the internet, and if they are faced with suspicious activity or something that makes them uncomfortable, or bullying on the internet, to let us know about it so we can properly investigate it. So we need the police, we need the community support, we need the community trust, we need community cooperation, and we get that. We make Edmonton safe for everybody, and that's we've done a pretty good job over the last couple of years as far as outreach to very diverse communities and getting that feedback from them, building relationships. And really that's what the job of the police is to build relationships, communicate with the community. We know the public survey that we did last year tells us that the public really wants to see their police more. They want to interact with the police more. They want the police talking to them more. They want us to get out of our cars and have conversations and come to meetings and stuff. So really what it's all about is building those relationships with the community, so the community trusts us, they're willing to come forward with information to help us solve crime, and that keeps Edmonton safe for everybody.
Talking of diverse communities, we've had 2 incidences in 2016. The first one was with Bashir Mohammed, where a couple had to throw some racial slang on Bashir Mohammed where he was crossing the street riding his bike home from work. Can that be considered as some kind of assault, saying there was some aspect of touching involved in this?
Well, I think you can look at it as, we would investigate something like that as a hate crime, obviously. And we have a hate crimes unit with the Edmonton Police Service, and we take all these incidents seriously. First and foremost, we need people to report that when it does happen. For a number of reasons, obviously so we can investigate properly, but we want to keep track of it statistically to see if it's trending up or down, because obviously that's a concern for everybody. We treat each one of these incidents very, very seriously, and we do investigate them fulsomely to conclusion. So when people are either committing racially motivated crimes or even racial slurs or whatever, we want to take those seriously and investigate them and find out, okay, so what's behind it, what's causing it, and people have to be held to account for their behavior, because we just don't tolerate that. That's not what Edmonton's all about. I don't think, certainly, that's not what we want our city to be known for. We're a very open, welcoming community. We are a very diverse community. If you look across Canada, we're very diverse, and we want everybody to feel comfortable and feel safe in Edmonton.
So a couple of months after Bashir Mohammed, similar incidents happened with Jesse Lipscomb, which he also had a similar situation with racial slurs being thrown at him from a group of people riding in a car.
Right.
And there is still the issue of no way to really prosecute something like that, maybe because on the street. So do we have enough laws? Do you think there's enough laws to help in situations like that, or you think there is enough laws already, but we just have to do more?
Well, our challenge is, obviously we don't make the laws. We can advocate for the laws. We can advocate to tighten up the laws. And I guess more prescriptive laws make it easier to enforce. I guess from a policing perspective, we like laws that are very black and white. There's no gray in those laws, but under the current situation, there is always gray, and every incident has to be judged on the evidence. So there's no two similar, there's no two incidents that are exactly alike, and that just plugs perfectly into the law. So you work with the laws that we have, and if our laws don't exactly cover things off, it's important for the community to advocate for changes in the law, because again, we don't make the laws, we just enforce them. And I may personally disagree with the law or think it's not a very good law, but that's not up to me to decide that. That's up to the community to decide whether that law is robust enough or thorough enough or strong enough, and to advocate to politicians and others to change the laws, to tighten them up, to make it so the community feels safe, so they feel protected. Because at the end of the day, that's what the laws are all about. Is the laws are designed to protect the community, to protect the citizens, and if the public doesn't feel protected by the laws, it's a democracy, and that's how democracy works. Is we all have the power to influence in a democracy. So we advocate to our elected officials to get them to make things better, so you feel safer, I feel safer in this community. So we have a big part to play in that as the police, but we're really the community's enforcement arm of the law. We're the ones that enforce the law when they need to be enforced, and obviously it's much better when we don't have to enforce the law, when we can use prevention and education and those other tools in our toolbox to make a community safer. But every once in a while we do have to come out and we have to enforce the law, and obviously people have to be charged. They go before the courts, and then the courts decide what the punishment will be at the end of the day. So we're sort of the front end of the criminal justice system, but we're only one part of the criminal justice system. Obviously, the community is the most important part of that criminal justice system, and making it work fulsomely and completely and fully to the interests of all Edmontonians.
We saw the first Somali-born police officer graduated 2016.
Right.
Which I think is historic in Canada, and the question for that is, are we going to see more of that?
Well, I would certainly hope so. I think so. I mean, sometimes it just takes, call it the glass ceiling or whatever else. It takes that one person to sort of blaze the trail, and that opens the doors for a lot of other people. Because, what I've learned, I think specific to some communities, is lots of young people want to join the police, but maybe their parents say that's not a good career because where we come from, the police are the bad guys. The police do bad things. The police disappear people. So they come to this country, and we do policing different in this country. We're part of the community, and we want to be part of the community. So I think when we're trying to recruit from diverse communities, we've maybe made a mistake as police, has tried to recruit the kids, where maybe we just have to change the perception of the parents and the families, because I mean, this is a great career. It's got great benefits, pays well, tremendous experiences. And we really do need that diversity in the Edmonton Police Service. We want the police service to reflect the communities we police. It's nice, you know, we're not going to know everything about every culture. But if we have a police officer that understands the culture and they can help us, well, this is how we should be sensitive about investigating this particular crime, or this is what we should be looking for when dealing with this community. Because if you come from, you know, I come from one set of values and one set and a background, and somebody else comes from a different, it's all about understanding each other so we can work together, as opposed to I may say something or do something that's offensive, and people shut down. Well, I'm not going to deal with the police because they said this, and you, well, what did I say or what did I do that was wrong? But if you're not sensitive enough or you don't understand, you will make mistakes. So I think having a diverse police service helps us deliver a better police service to the community.